What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Merricks Garage. We're talking metal fabricating tools today, particularly this new Milwaukee M12 1/4-inch die grinder. I have been waiting patiently for this guy. They just released it and I managed to get my hands on one. So today we're going to put it through its paces. I'll show you the different options and fittings that I've been using, and we'll talk about why this is such a game changer for my workflow and possibly for yours too. I have been waiting a long time for this guy. I saw it at the Milwaukee New Product Show, but finally arrived. Angle Die Grinder. One of the questions I was hit with on Instagram was whether I thought this should be an M18 variety tool instead of an M12 variety tool. And the answer I gave was no. I think it's a great call on Milwaukee's part to introduce this with their M12 line of batteries. This is an M12 2 amp hour battery. This is an M12 4 amp hour battery. This is an M18 5 amp hour battery. Substantial difference in size, and when you look at this tool and you see how small it is, you can definitely see why the M12 is going to be a much better solution for this guy. I also think it's a smart move on Milwaukee's part because these are substantially cheaper than the M18 variants. This tool can be purchased as a bare tool. If you've got some M12 stuff already, you can use your M12 batteries in it. And I think it's a nice gesture from Milwaukee to not throw their expensive stuff, the M12 battery, the M18 battery lineup, on all of their tools. They recognize that the power they get out of this will not be that advantageous to a tool like this. Keeping it small, keeping it light, and keeping it reasonably priced is a good move. There is a large assortment of polishing discs, of flap style discs, of angle grinders and die grinders that work with the 1/4-inch collet. I've picked up a couple different options to go through today with you guys. I've got these 3 different hardness on discs. I've got this polished flap wheel, and I've got some of these burrs and grinders. So let's take a look at how this performs. I've got a piece of steel mounted up here ready to go. We're going to throw some of the tools on and flap it down, and I will compare it to this guy so we can take a look at metal damage and, you know, see which one works better for this application. With this piece of steel right here, I am going to prep it as if I was welding this guy. So I want to clear off all of the corrosion on here, bring this down to bare metal, and I'm also going to chamfer the edge. What I'm going to be looking for is what sort of marks do I leave with either a flap disc or this grinding disc or the wire wheel. I'll be trying both on this. I'll do one side with one side with the other, and then I've got another end right down here that we'll do the same with. I will be giving a run through on a couple of these different options. We'll see which one works best. First, let's hit it with this flap disc. This is a 60 grit, and yeah, it's worn down, but you can see there's a lot of life in it. So I will polish right here with this guy, and let's see how it looks. Now let's try a couple of different attachments on this. First, I need to undo the collet and swap it out. Let's throw on one of these blue discs. I have 4 different settings on the back: 10,000 RPM, 15, 20, and 24.5. That's what I'm going to be doing when I'm working with these guys. For flapping and stuff like that, I'm probably going to stay around here. Polishing, I'm going to be jumping up into these guys. So let's set this right now. We'll set it speed number 2. So right off the bat, you can see the difference here. This is a flap wheel. This is the sanding disc. And here is the die grinder. The feel itself is quite a bit different. There is some metal removal going on with the flap disc. There's definitely some going on with the sanding disc. But with this guy, it is a nice, smooth finish. It does leave a little bit on there, but that's because I didn't hit it that hard. Let's take a look at running down this edge now. Sanding disc. Definitely not the right tool for the job here. This is where the sanding disc does do a really good job. I feel that the flap disc is perfect because it's not going to be as aggressive. You can bang through metal using the sanding disc very quickly. So for that, I would say that, yeah, this guy or your standard flap disc are the way to go. Let's take a look at larger coverage areas. If I've got to clean this whole piece of metal, how will this guy do? Will the battery last? How much pressure can I put on? Pretty obvious that this guy did a much better job. You can see there's some removal of metal. All this is important because it does show up, and it is, you know, as you get better at fabrication, you become more and more concerned about the little things. And less metal removal, leaving me clear base metal, clean base metal without any scratches is great. So far, I am really stoked. Let's put this thing to work and really get after it and see if I can bog this motor down. Now keep in mind, you're not going to want to hit a piece of metal with a ton of force. If you're doing that, you've got the wrong pad on it. But there's going to be the times when we do that. Let's see how it works. And I'm going to swap the M12 battery out, which as you can see is a full battery. Swapping to the 2 amp hour, which is same voltage, just a smaller tank, basically. Okay. Okay, that's where we can stop it down at. Let's bump it up a little bit. And then one more. Now that we've seen what it can do and how much it can handle, let's see how long it would take to strip this guy down. Let's go. That is nice. Very, very little metal removal. You could see that in the amount of sparks that were coming off. And a nice, clean, bare metal. The seam here has a little bit of slag still left on it, but that's okay. And here you can see where the line comes up from where the flap disc was used. You'll notice that with the flap disc, I'm just not able to get into the recesses. I have much smaller dies if I need to use them, but I think I can get in with this. My objective would be to clean up all this in here. Now, there is a lot of finishing to do here still, but I just want to bang it out really quick so you guys could see. If I was doing this on my cage or something visible, I'd obviously be doing it with a whole different selection of these guys, but you can see that it is a noticeable improvement over the flap disc. That's why I'm most excited about this guy. Bunch of different attachments and options and sizes and collets and finishes for it, but also it's light, it's portable, and it gets the job done. Well done, Milwaukee. It's about time someone brought one of these guys out. Milwaukee has done a nice job with this guy. I don't have much experience in its longevity and durability, but being a Milwaukee handpiece, I'm confident I'm not gonna have any problems. For those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that product reviews are not in my wheelhouse. My channel is dedicated to the building, fabrication, and four-wheeling of my truck. But this guy caught my attention. It's a really cool tool that hasn't been available in the market. And Milwaukee has not only brought us a compressor and airline-free die grinder, they've brought us a phenomenal one. Multiple speeds, different battery options, small form factor. Really, really impressed. If you guys do any metal work, it would behoove you to check this guy out. I've got it all linked down below, so if you want to see the product and other stuff that's coming out, go ahead and click the link down below in my bio. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe if you are not a subscriber. I've got a button you can click. I've also got some fabrication series videos up here that you can go take a look that show me welding and grinding and making a mess. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Merricks Garage.